अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, मैं हूँ आपकी मेज़बान मदीहा मलिक और आज मैं आपको टैक्सिला में एक जगह है सिरकप, वहाँ घुमाने के लिए लाई हूँ। आपको साथ साथ जगह भी दिखाएंगे और इसके मुतालिक बताएंगे।
These are the Sirkap remains. In fact, these remains are 1 century BC and these are very old. In fact, Sirkap was a famous city of that oldest Buddhist vicinity. It's a lush green area and this small road which is leading to Sirkap is covered with the grain trees, hashish plants and other some intoxicating plants. Now we are entered in the area. This is the outer wall. This is the outer wall of Sirkap. Hello. Now we are entering to the Sirkap. That's the old city of Buddhist that was constructed between 1 and 2 century BC. That means its age is about 2200 years. That's an old city and that was the second city in the Taxila. It was very important. Its name is said to be derived from the 2 Hindu legendary characters. Now you can see these big walls. These are the outer walls of the city and in fact these walls are also having the same structure. These are 4 feet wide and these are made up of stones. It's a symmetrical structure. It's well preserved. After its identification, it was identified in the year 1920. It was the first Surveyor General of India, Sir John Marshall. This is just on the outer gate of the city. This was a small well and certainly that well was used to water the persons who were deputed on these gates. And just inside the gate there is the guards room. In fact, these are the small 3 cabins. Certainly it was a walled city and it was the design of all the walled cities that there was always the guards kept on the doors so that nobody should enter without permission of the guards. You know, the old people were quite cautious about their security. That's one of the streets and the width of the street is about 15 feet. And then there are the small streets. The design of this city is like the old cities of Hindus. They were having the cities with narrow lanes. From this side you can watch. This is I think it's a big pond outside. Just adjacent to the one of the western outer wall of the city, and then there are the stairs. And these stairs were used when the water level was down. In fact, quite deep pond. And in fact, even the structure of all these walls are of 3, showing the 3 eras. It was the Greek era. You know, this area was also conquered by the Alexander the Great. Now you can see this, the view of outer view of the city from the outer wall of the city. That's again a lush green area. There are the big trees. And there in the pond there is also an oak tree. That the date written on this small plaque is about 1 century. And these are the outskirts. Now there is the vicinity. That's the private locality. And I think the government shouldn't allow such type of habitation outside such old historical places, because there are the environmental factors which are destroying the beauty of all that. Now you can see the full view of the city. It's quite interesting to see that there are the different sizes of houses, and in fact now you are watching a big size house, and this is having even the 2 compounds. It means that was belonging to some rich persons. As far as the size of walls is concerned, that's almost equal size for all the houses, either big or small. And the outer walls are about 3 feet wide, but internal walls are just 1 feet. In fact, this city is beautifully designed. There are streets, and then there are the small houses, and it is said that this was having population of about 20,000 persons one time, and it was in fact consisting of different religions which were the part of the Hinduism. This area is in fact meant for Jain Stupa, and it was belonging to the Jain religion, which was one of the religion of Hinduism. Yes, these are the small houses. And this is the stupa. In fact, it is the prayer place within one sector of the city. In fact, this remains of city is having the different sects of religions, and all religions were having their own places of worship in their sectors. The central road, or in other words, you can say it's a big street, and that street is about 25 feet wide, but other streets are about 10 to 15 feet wide. Now you can watch, this is another sector of the city, and again there are the small and big houses. The big houses are consisting on the big rooms in size, but in small houses there are small rooms. This is according to the size of the house. If the house was the big one, the compound and other facilities are also the big one. There are small places which are looking like kitchens and bathrooms. Although I think at that time there will be no provision of the separate baths, but in big houses, this area is, I think, it is the central part of the city, and then there are the small size rooms, and I think these are looking like shops. The residents of the Vicentities were shopping. That's a big old tree. Now that's in fact dried up. Nobody can say about the age of this tree, and in fact it is looking like a oak tree. Then there is a small stupa. That small stupa is just adjacent to the main road, and at the corner of one of the streets. That street is not too big, it's just 10 feet. Now again there is a big compound. I think this is just a side view of a temple, because it's an open area and it's just in the middle of the city, and then there is a platform in the middle of that street. That plot is a big size, in big size. Now we are moving towards another sector. That just outside the street there is a circular tomb that's fully covered. There is no door to this tomb. I'm not sure for which purpose this place were being used. Here. You can notice that there is the different design of each sector, and even the Vicentities room size and other constructional aspects are different in size. Now that's a block C. This is known as the Sun Temple, and certainly this was the area which was meant to the people who were worshipping sun. That means the city was diverse by religious communities. The different communities were living in the city. I think it's looking a marketplace. There are the small rooms of single size, and just outside and opposite to this marketplace there is a stupa. It's a temple, and just outside within the boundary there are the two houses, and that's again having the same structure. There are also the statues of, I think, Buddha. That's a square stupa, although the dome of this stupa is missing. There are the stairs, 6 stairs. This was again the religious place of another religion, You can see the view of different sectors from this area. Now at this point, even the street, the main street or the road is broader as compared to at its start. And even the structures of buildings is different. This is in fact the end of this walled city, and it is looking that here are the big houses. By this you can assess that even at that time there were the people of different financial capacities. Again there is another stupa. That's a small stupa. It's quite strange that in every sector there is a stupa. There are 5 stairs. That there is in the middle there is a dome, but the dome is missing. But quite interestingly, this is having the 4 minarets, 4 towers on 4 corners. This is a small structure. It is, I think, about 15 by 15 feet square. Now this is another interesting thing. I think this was a stone made, the place where they might be mixing something or... Now this is about the end of this main street. Although still there is a large area, but that area is missing such type of remains and remains of foundations. But apparently that whole area is looking the part of this second city of the Taxila. Now it's a big tree of shisham. I can't say about the age of this tree. And now you can see the further. Now you can watching this area that's still the extension of the main street, but the foundations are missing. I think the people of vicinity are using stones for construction of their houses, and they might have removed all these stones just to construct their houses. At the end there is a small hill. That hill is having the very good stones. We have also visited and showed that hill to you. And that hill is also having a monastery. You can see, I think, the outer walls of that monastery. That's a big area. And here is now the lush green grass and other self-growing plants. And certainly they are showing that it was a lush green and fertile area, and it was fulfilling the requirements of the residents for their food requirements, their vegetable requirements, and other requirements. Now it's the end of this visit, because these are simply the remains, and almost all these remains are identical. This is the complete view of, panoramic view of this city of Sirkap. Now I'm at the middle of this main street, main road, which is quite straight. It is showing the expertise of designers and the construction workers or the masons of that time. And in fact, we can say the design of the city of the Islamabad is also little bit identical to this one. And I can simply say the Islamabad, which is the capital of the Pakistan now, since 1960, because prior to that, Karachi was the capital of Pakistan. This is the rebirth of a capital from the ruins of a great capital. And Islamabad is today also a great capital. And I can simply link the birth of Islamabad with this great capital city of Ashoka, the great ruler of this subcontinent, and that's Ashoka dynasty of this subcontinent. Thank you very much. Wait for new videos. Contribute, subscribe to our channel, and also press the bell button so that you may get the alerts in future, and you will see different parts of the Pakistan. In fact, this is the Pakistan Explorer. Thank you very much.
नाजरीन, अगर आप इसी तरह पाकिस्तान की खूबसूरत जगह देखना चाहते हैं तो मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें। इसी के साथ अपनी मेज़बान मदीहा मलिक को इजाज़त दीजिए। अगली दफ़ा एक नई जगह पर मुलाकात होगी। खुदा हाफिज़।